What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I know I look strange, I look different. How do I look? You know, went and got a nice little shave, little haircut. The neck's clean. I can actually see my neck. How about that? Got it ponied up right now, but I was repping it down a little bit earlier. Got like long hair now. But it's crazy. You guys just see me trying to adjust my glasses, not even wearing them. But today is another Comically Boston, episode 151. Welcome back, y'all. My name's Big Cam. Shout out to everyone that is currently watching this video. If you guys have watched other Comically Bostons like last week, you knew we were discussing the new Superman suit and David Cornsweat's new suit, and there was a giant purple beam in the sky in the background, and everyone was speculating what that was about. And I found the real image, right? Because that was a doctored image. People didn't know. This is the real image. That purple beam was actually just Godzilla powering up, and you know, Superman's just tired, and he's actually kicking the boots off, and he's about to go to sleep because Godzilla's came to town to handle the problem for him. No, but if you guys haven't seen the new Godzilla Kong movie, go check it out for yourselves because it's very entertaining. This clip of Godzilla is just fucking awesome. I'll play it right now. Oh, just pink and powerful and just charging up. Like, yeah, that movie's great. It's not necessarily the most, you know, well-written or, you know, groundbreaking or mind-blowing movie, but it's certainly entertaining as fuck. And just seeing Godzilla wrestle, friggin' literally suplex King Kong, you know, like, it's just, it's awesome. It's a good friggin' time. I wish I had a better theater for that. Speaking of movies I want to see coming out soon here in July, with Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, Anthony Ramos, Twisters, going to be kind of a remake, I believe, a reboot type of deal. I don't believe it's like a Twister 2. I believe it's kind of like Twisters, like it's going to be its own thing, but I would like to see how it connects to the first one, because the first one I really like. Bill Paxton, I'm pretty sure, is the guy in that. That's a great movie. Also, some just brief Marvel news. Recently, there was this What If poster, and I thought this was for like What If Season 3, but it's What If, an immersive story in Disney Plus, and then it has like Apple Vision Pro. So I don't know what this is, or if this is just What If is available to watch on the Apple Vision Pro. But for people that have that much money to have the Apple Vision Pro, can you comment below and let a guy know what the hell this immersive story is with What If and Disney Plus is doing with the Apple Vision Pro? But in this image, you see somebody in like a yellow Nova Corps. You see Thanos, but not in his traditional armor. Obviously Wong. You get the Collector over there. You see Hela with Thor's hammer. We see somebody that has like a mummy mask, almost like DC's Hush. And then you see Scarlet Witch up in the top left, but in a white and red costume with a big, huge tiara. I don't know, man. This seems like another What If story in the multiverse, but I wouldn't be shocked if What If Season 3 comes sooner rather than later, too. Also last week, we talked about the Deadpool and Wolverine Empire magazine, and I haven't gotten the magazine myself, but there is some more shots that we haven't seen from trailers, and even, like, this is from the book, and it says, here, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, making a flying visit. Below, Cord Jefferson does it by the book. I don't know who that is, but very interesting magazine, in some of the posts that they made were very interesting. Like, this is like almost like a behind the scenes picture of Wade's birthday party. You see Yukio, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I believe that's maybe Colossus coming in the door in his CGI pajamas, like with the actor. And then you see Karen Sony, I think he's the bus or the cab driver. We see Booth or Buck or Booth, I think Buck, over there with the big white beard, and then you see the girl that is his girl, Vanessa. So weird. Like, some of this, I think this movie's gonna be so good, but some of the stuff that they're showing, like, this is a TVA, but doesn't necessarily look like the TVA we remember, but it's kind of similar. But Matthew McFadden, I believe, might be the actual main villain of this movie, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And then this last image here is just him on that snowy wasteland from the trailer, where we see him stabbing a bunch of TVA agents, and clearly, if you look at the background, he did a good job about cleaning them up. Moving on from Marvel for a quick second, then we'll get back into some other Marvel casting stuff later in today's episode, the main topic of today. But just some posters that got released for Yorgos Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie. He last did Poor Things, which won an Oscar over there for a couple things, I believe, but one for Emma Stone, Best Picture, or Best Leading Actress. And she is now starring in his new movie called Kinds of Kindness. And the poster I just thought was hilarious because they're wearing like masks that are just like plus size images of their face. So we got Emma Stone. Willem Dafoe's poster's really funny, and his face just enlarged, just looks so strange. Jesse Plemons is also in this movie. He's been a really good actor recently, as of late. He's just been so good. And then this last one, I don't know if this is Margaret Qualley or someone else, but still another poster from that movie, Kinds of Kindness, which I never knew Yorgos Lanthimos before Poor Things, so now that I've seen that, I'm probably gonna see his next work too, because that just looks funny, but also so strange, like Poor Things, that you're like, I think I just have to see it at least once. But coming up here in July, real soon, just a few weeks away, we have a big month of television. And just to recap, everyone, we've been talking about this for a while, but we now have confirmed dates on when this stuff is dropping, and some of it is how it's dropping. But we know June 4th, Star Wars The Acolyte comes out, so that will be the first thing dropping in June. I believe that maybe is going to drop Star Wars normally does a 2-episode premiere, and say it's 8 episodes. They drop the first 2, and then they do the remaining 6 weeks, week by week. But I heard something else about one of these other shows, that it might be dropping all at once, but we'll get to that in a second. June 13th, The Boys Season 4 comes out. Now, I have never watched The Boys live, so I'm not sure if it's an all-at-once drop or if it's week by week. Comment below if you know that. Also, comment below, should I watch Gen V Season 1 before I watch The Boys Season 4? Because I've only watched The Boys Season 1 to 3. So, you know, comment below your thoughts for that, so I know what I should be doing. Next one that's going to be coming out in June will be June 16th, just a few days after The Boys, House of the Dragon Season 2. That one's probably going to be week by week, probably 10 episodes like the first season on HBO. And I loved Season 1, so Season 2, just to have some Game of Thrones back in the system will be really nice. So we'll be covering that show, and probably Acolyte and House of the Dragon for sure I'll be covering week to week. I'll be watching The Boys and The Bear, but I don't know if I'll cover it on the channel. Comment below if that's something you want to see me do, you know, episode by episode reactions to those. But the final show in June will be The Bear, Season 3, dropping June 27th, and I did hear that that one will drop all at once, which I'm not so mad at. I thought about it after. I was like, oh man, I wish I had, like, you know, 7 weeks of that show so we could watch it week by week. But if these other shows are dropping week by week, it might be nice to have that drop and just binge it over a weekend, you know, like start it on a Friday, finish it by Sunday type of thing. Because some of those episodes are short, some of them are long, but overall, that show in particular with Season 1 and 2, the more I clicked on the episode, the more I found myself watching multiple, right? Like, I would go, oh, I'll watch one episode tonight, and then all of a sudden I'm 4 or 5 episodes in, and I'm like, wow, this show is just so friggin' good. How the hell can I stop? Like, you just keep going. But that's a stacked month of June, right? Like, an absolutely stacked month of June for TV shows in general. But let's get back to the final topic of today. There was a couple Marvel confirmed projects, and then there was a casting for Galactus for Fantastic Four. So we'll talk about that in just 1 second. But before we talk about Fantastic Four, Black Panther 3 has now confirmed Ryan Coogler signing back on. I think he did a phenomenal job with Black Panther 1 and Wakanda Forever. Those 2 movies were phenomenal. So a Black Panther 3, whatever that title will be, I want him back on the helm for sure. Give himself a Black Panther trilogy. They also might want Ryan Coogler to be the director of the X-Men live-action movie. And the rumors are with that movie is that they're going to focus on the female characters, which they kind of did in the original series with Hugh Jackman. Other than focusing on Hugh Jackman, they were like, and we initially got brought in by Rogue. You know, she was like our perspective of that first movie, and then Storm was there. You know, like Jean Grey was a big character in 2 of the movies, but like Cyclops never got a really big role. You know, like the team never really was flushed out completely. Not like the X-Men animated series, the X-Men '97 right now. That show's been fucking phenomenal. But Ryan Coogler, I think, would do a great job doing almost an X-Men movie, but more so focusing on Aurora Monroe Storm. Like, I would love for there to be a new Storm, right? And a completely new X-Men. Nobody returning. No, Hugh Jackman returning. No, none of that. Give us a whole new cast of all X-Men. Make it almost like X-Men 97 in the sense that they're going to be wearing all their comic book accurate outfits, but give us a real origin story for Storm, right? And show us how Storm got those Omega level powers. Like, I almost would love a Storm solo movie before an X-Men movie, right? Like, give us just individual characters. Give us a Wolverine, give us a, whoever else you want to talk about. Give us a Magneto movie, give us whatever. But give us a Storm movie. I think people would not only love that, but it would hit different. Because it would have all the vibes of, like, Wakanda and Wakanda Forever. But would just be like, what Halle Berry should have gotten. You know what I mean? But not Halle Berry, right? Like a modern day Halle Berry. Because all these X-Men people need to be young, because I want them to play the characters for at least the next decade or two. And you can't get somebody that's 50, because all of a sudden, they're going to be 70 years old trying to do action scenes? No. We need some young people, young actors, and let that shit ride, man. Oh, I can't wait to see the X-Men back in live action. But let's talk about the Fantastic Four. Casting for the Fantastic Four has cast Galactus. Ralph Ineson was currently, I know him from Game of Thrones. He played Dagmir Cleftjaw. He was in Harry Potter's as like a Death Eater behind Snape. He was also a Ravager pilot in the Guardians movies, right? So in his face, I recognize. And then I heard his voice in an interview, and he has just this deep, iconic voice. But he's never really gotten a chance to be a star role. He's always just been an extra in the movies I've seen him in. So to see him get like a real role is awesome. And to get a role like Galactus, I think they wanted Antonio Banderas or Javier Bardem were their leading choices for this. But I trust that casting lady, because she came through and was like, you know what? I found the voice that we need for this character. Almost like the guy that voiced Arishem the Judge, the Celestial in Eternals. Perfect voicing for that too. So this guy is going to be playing a live action Galactus, probably with this live action suit with the big helmet and everything. I think that's going to be awesome. So now confirmed for the Fantastic Four cast is Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, Eben Moss Backrack as Ben Grimm the Thing. I think he's going to kill it as the Thing. Ralph Ineson as Galactus, Julia Gardner as the Silver Surfer, Shyla Ball, I believe is the Silver Surfer's name that she's playing, because she's not going to be playing the male version. I believe that might be played by Lakeith Stanfield. And then we have two other castings, but we don't know who they're playing, with Paul Walter Hauser, which I think he might be either Herbie or Mole Man, and vice versa with the other casting, John Malkovich, which if he was the voice of the little robot, that would be funny as fuck too. Or if he was Mole Man, he would probably be a pretty intimidating Mole Man as well. So that's currently the cast we're looking at for the Fantastic Four movie, but that, I believe, will start shooting in July, which will be awesome, and I'm so hyped that this movie is getting closer and closer to being real. But comment below, what do you think of that Galactic casting? But just to close out today, some other rumored casting that we had recently and potentially might be true but might not be, so we're waiting still for real confirmations. But the rumors right now are that Giancarlo Esposito got cast as something not what other people have been fan casting him as. So he's been fan cast as Doctor Doom, as Professor X, as Magneto. So he's been cast, but we don't know as what yet. And from the interview, it also maybe sounded like he could be a new character entirely, like a brand new character, or it would just be a character we haven't seen on screen yet. I don't know. Or it's going to be a character we have seen, but a new take on it. So I don't know, but I have more guesses than not that Giancarlo Esposito has been fan cast as pretty much anything. So I don't know. Maybe he'll... I don't know. He's a very good villain, but I don't know, man. I don't know what I would want to see him as. Because if he is Doctor Doom, I mean, Doctor Doom would have a great voice, but I don't know. He's not who I picture as Doctor Doom. My fan cast Doctor Doom at the moment is Cillian Murphy, until I see differently. But Janelle Monáe also might be fan cast as something. Recently, they were talking maybe she's gonna be like a Storm, and someone else said, nah, fuck that. She's not a Storm, but you know what she could be is a Mystique. Ooh, oh, blue scale her up like the original one from the original X-Men series, not like Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence was fine, but she wasn't the Mystique I liked. Rebecca Romijn, that's her name, from the first movie. Whew, killed it. She looked flawless, and every time, like, you know, that was early 2000s. Every time she transferred from the blue form into like somebody else, the transition just looked so perfect, and they didn't nail the transition as good with Jennifer Lawrence, or maybe Jennifer Lawrence just looked weird blue. I don't know. But to close out the show, Ryan Gosling might be fan cast as Ghost Rider. That could be a role I could really see him embodying, but I think he would bring far too much humor to the role, which Nick Cage brought some good humor to the role, but not when he was Ghost Rider, right? Like he was funny when he was just Johnny Storm, you know, talking to his bike mechanic, and he's like, don't you touch my jelly beans, don't you touch my TV, you know, like little lines that I remember from that first movie, you know, him like staring in the mirror, you know, being funny. So I guess Ghost Rider could be funny, but I think Ryan Gosling would have to then go real serious once he becomes the flaming head, like, because I would feel really weird about his quirky little humor when we're supposed to be seeing the guy on fire, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't know, Ryan Gosling is a very, very good actor, so I could see him really killing that role. But also, you know, I could see maybe Keanu Reeves killing that much more, you know? Like, I don't know. I do miss Ghost Rider, though, quite a bit. I liked Ghost Rider a ton when I was a kid, Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. So, Ryan Gosling could be a pretty badass one. But fan cast some of your people you want to see in the MCU, and who would you have play them? Fan cast those down in the comment section below. You can talk to me on my other social medias, link in the description below. Check out my Letterboxd for future movie reviews and movie reviews from this year. I think I've done over 130 movies already this year, which is crazy. And more movie reviews coming this week. I just watched Fall Guy and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes over the last weekend, so go check out those videos if you haven't, and hit that bell for me if you don't want to miss future Comically Boston. Subscribe if you're new, it really helps the channel. Smash that like button. I'm Big Cam, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.